So, in this lecture, actually, I'll focus on two-phase locking protocol and its variant in details. So, you have seen that in the two-phase locking protocols, in the last lecture, that there are two phases. First one is lock acquisition phase, and the next one is releasing phases. Okay, now, but you need to know that this all these things actually occur in three stages. Okay, first part, when the transaction start executing, it seeks permission for the locks it requires. Second part, when the transaction acquires all the locks, and third part is that means third part is going to be started when the transaction releases its first lock, and in this phase it cannot demand any new locks. Okay, it can only release locks. Okay, release the acquired locks. So these are the three parts of two phase locking protocols. Now, two phases are named as growing phase, where locks are acquired, and shrinking phase, where locks are being released. Now, I am going to show you one practical implementation. So, first, take a screenshot of this page. So, you will see that T1 and T2 are two transactions, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the different instance of time. T1, lock S. Do my means note that S shared and X for exclusive. Okay, so T1 first log on A item, means that item A that is shared, and then T2 the same item A, then T1 lock X exclusive lock on B, then unlock A, means it releases the lock on A, then T2 again acquire lock exclusive lock on C. Then at the moment 7th, you see that this time instance are very important. All these things are happening with respect to time. Okay, so you have to consider this column seriously. Then unlock B at 7 means that B data item that is being locked through exclusive lock by T1 is being now unlocked. Then after that, at moment 8, unlock A and unlock C at moment 9 by T2. Well, so I hope you have taken a screenshot. Now we can analyze it in this way. Transaction T1 growing phase will be from what? Can you tell me? Please first try to you yourself recognize the growing phase. Growing, do remember, when the locks are being acquired. Shrinking, when the locks are being released. So you have seen that 1, 2, 3. 1 to 3. Lock SA, lock XB at 3. So this will be our what? Our growing phase. Then shrinking phase means what? Where the locks are being released gradually. So for T1, shrinking phase will be started from 5 and it completes at 7. So 5 to 7 is our shrinking phase for transaction T1. Okay. Then lock point at 3. Lock point at 3 means lock point is the point at which the growing phase ends. Please, my dear students, and all the observers of the video, you may note down what is the lock point. It's being asked several times before. Okay, so lock point is the point at which the growing phase ends. That is when transaction takes the final lock it needs to carry on its work. So for the first transaction T1, you will see that lock point is at 3. Clear? Then for transaction T2, you try to yourself determine the growing phase. I'm telling it for you. So it is being started from 2 and it is being completed at C. So 2 to 6 is the growing phase and lock point will be our 6, and the shrinking phase for transaction T2 is 8 to 9. As you know that it's releasing the lock from the moment 8 and completes at 9. So lock point will be 9. Clear. So growing phase for T2 is the 2 to 6, 2 to 6, and shrinking phase 8 to 9, 8 to 9, and the lock point is at 6. I hope this practical explanation is clear to you now. So better you note down all of these facts. This will help you a lot for solving the different problems being asked in GATE examinations conducted by IITs and IISc. Okay. So now we have to have some benefits and drawbacks of 2PL also, means what it actually gives us and what are the drawbacks of 2PL. So 2PLs ensures serializability, and you can consider this as the benefit of or advantage of 2PL. Now, drawbacks of 2PL is cascading rollback. Cascading rollback is possible under 2PL, and deadlocks and starvations are also possible with respect to 2PL. Now, I am giving you an assignment, that is, what is cascading rollback and what is deadlock and starvation. You are going to comment your answer. Well, so let me tell you something. Cascading, the means the events are being associated to each other. If one is fault, then other is which are associated to it is also going to be falling. Okay, deadlock at a condition where everything got paused, means it halts, you can say. Okay, so and starvation means you already know that one transaction is gaining everything but the other transaction is not able to get the required things or required resources. It has to or it needs to wait for a longer period of time, so it is starving. Okay, like you suppose up to 1 p.m., from morning 6 a.m. to 1 p.m., I'm not giving you anything to eat. Okay, so what would happen? You get starved. The same thing. Suppose transaction T1 is getting every resources, but transaction T2 is waiting for a single resources for a longer period of time. It's not. It is requesting, but it is not assign that resource. So that is a case of starvation. And deadlock, see, suppose two resources we have, R1 and R2, and P1 and P2 are two processes. R1 is assigned to P1 and R2 is assigned to, say, P2. But P1 is again requesting for resource R2 without releasing R1, and again P2 is really requesting for resource R1 without releasing R2. So it will establish a cycle, and whenever this type of cycle exists, means one is holding one thing that is being requested by other, and that first one is being again requesting some other resource which is being really assigned to the second one. So this type of cycle, okay, cycle if exists, then this leads to deadlock. So this is a brief introduction to deadlock and starvation and cascading rollback. So I hope you have got the overall concept behind them. But please try to write them in properly and try to write them in comments also, and you are going to show it to me. Okay. Now, as an assignment, one more numerical problem, I'm giving it to you. Please take a screenshot of this page and try to find out the log points for each of the transaction and growing phase and shrinking phase for each of the transactions. Okay, so you'll take a screenshot of this, you'll try to find it out, and then you will take a screenshot of your answers, and then you are going to either message me or mail me to my ID. You already know that. If you don't know, you can ask me through comment, and if you know my WhatsApp ID, you can send me the pics of them. So guys, that's all for today. Try to answer the question that I have asked during the lecture. And last question for you, what do you understand by log point? Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you. Bye bye.